Hello, this is Jedd Hafer at the Love and Logic Institute here with my friend Dr. Charles Fay.
Hey there. Good
Great
to see
be with
you.
you again. Welcome
Great
to the
to be
podcast. What are we talking about today? We're talking about when kids act out in public.
Oh, I love little kids in public, especially when they're somebody else's kids.
When they're somebody else's kids.
It leaves me feeling pretty confident about my abilities and about the hope that maybe I will have a job for the rest of my life.
It's job security, yeah.
It really is. The thing I love about little kids is they're so transparent. I mean,
they don't have a lot of airs to put on.
Politicians are always worried about the optics. You notice that word? It's the optics. Well, look, the optics. They always have to say look and the optics, and then everything has to be transparent.
Those
Little
kids aren't thinking about the optics.
They just are, and I love how they can always tell when their parents are the most embarrassed about something. And I love the little kids who come out of the bathroom with their mom and are so excited about what happened in there. And then they tell everybody
loudly
exactly what their mother did in there with hand gestures and sound effects and all that.
Now that might be done innocently.
Well, it is. And moms love that kind of stuff. They really do.
They get that hot, like I know this feeling of your kids are embarrassing you in public and your face starts to kind of feel hot and you can feel like all the eyes in the place looking at you.
Yeah.
And moms have this extra trick though, where they can get down real low and talk to the kid without opening their mouth and
talking through their teeth, and that's usually a great expression of love.
Yeah, it's done.
And encouragement when they do that. I mean, I don't need kids to be embarrassed in public, though. I'm pretty good at it.
You can embarrass yourself.
Yeah, I do it on planes a lot. I was on the plane a while back. It was a CRJ, which stands for Canadair Regional Jet. Yeah, you fly a lot. And I think 70 passenger-ish. I don't know, something like that.
Really made for about 20 full-sized human beings.
Yeah, they serve drinks, like sodas and stuff, and you can buy like a $20 beer, I think.
If you want to.
And they serve drinks. Did I tell you that?
Mm-hmm. And
then a lot of people drink coffee and stuff like that before they get on the plane, and there's one bathroom.
And it's a very small bathroom.
And it's in the very back of the plane. Okay, so you gotta walk back there. And, you're kind of doing this thing as you're walking, try not to touch anybody, and then I went in there and took care of what I needed to take care of, and then...
Because they serve drinks on the plane.
Right. And I've been working on the fiber issues, too.
Oh.
And it wouldn't flush.
Oh, man, bathroom.
I mean, and everybody saw me go back there. Okay, so it's not like people are going to be pointing at anybody else but that guy, okay? So I'm thinking...
They probably wrote it down as you walk by.
They probably did. And so I'm walking along and, I get in there and it won't flush. So what do you do when it won't flush? You hit it again, right? It still didn't flush. It's not even coming close. I mean, pretty soon, it's like I'm panicking because this button has got to work because my whole reputation...
Yeah.
As a sanitary human being rests on this flushing, and so
You're gonna be judged harshly.
I'm going to be judged harshly, and then I hear this banging on the bathroom door. I mean, it's just banging, it's frantic. The door is rattling back and forth, and I hear this, sir, are you okay in there? And it's a flight attendant. Okay, I'm like, yeah, I'm fine in there, and now she's opening the door. Okay, now fortunately I was dressed and everything, but I'm standing there and I'm pushing the button and she's opened the door with the little thing that they open the door with. And apparently I was pushing the emergency call button rather than the toilet flusher.
And that is embarrassing.
Now, nobody else on the plane was aware of what was happening, right?
But they get this little signal like,
No, everybody, I'm going back to my seat. Everybody is turned around studying me as I'm walking.
That's the guy who needed help.
Yeah.
That's the guy who the flight attendant had to frantically run back there and rescue.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh man, that must have been hard.
I wish I would have had a poorly behaved kid.
Yeah, that's one
I
way to
could have
look at
always
it.
said the kid, I'm never going to
pushing that
babysit for that family again, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
I know a guy had a real embarrassing thing one time. He was actually seen in public, and he was wearing a T-shirt. It was like, I forget. It said like spam or something on it.
Are you
And
serious?
I felt like that must have been humiliating. The guy didn't even realize he left the house looking like. Oh. So anyway, what were we talking about? Kids
Yeah,
misbehaving in
kids and
public.
misbehaving in the public and the kind of things they do.
I had a lady write about and this, as we film this, it's the holiday season,
Yeah.
and she took her toddler to like a Christmas tree lighting, one of those and it's those are beautiful events. Sometimes they pass out candles, and
Yeah.
there's carolers,
And
then
yeah.
they light up the Christmas tree, and everyone goes and it's just very beautiful
It's moving.
event, yeah. And she brought her toddler to this, and I think it started innocently enough where he was kind of grabbing himself, right? As toddlers will sometimes do.
Sure.
But I think some people kind of noticed and maybe snickered or laughed, and then he realized, oh, I got an audience, and this kid must have a little bit of entertainer in him. And so he continued with that more dramatically, and he was really doing that, we'll just say, and it was not a silent night anymore because everyone around started snickering and laughing, and of course Mom gets down and tells him to knock it off.
Through her teeth.
Oh, sure, don't do that. And of course he realizes, wow, this is, and I don't know, I wasn't there and I can't read minds anyway, but I'm guessing as a little toddler he's thinking, what an opportunity for me to get some really good attention and some big laughs,
Publicity.
some publicity. Maybe he was thinking about the optics in this case.
I'm feeling for this
This
lady.
poor mom.
Yeah.
But then there's also a powerless feeling on her part and a powerful feeling possibly
Well, yeah.
on his part. Because
Yeah.
there's nothing she can do. We're in public.
And sometimes kids get embarrassed and stuff, and they do inappropriate things. I do inappropriate things when I'm embarrassed. I mean, I stumble around. I'm trying to do the right thing, but then I do something else, and so it's a cascade effect. It's a cascade effect. I remember being really nervous as one of my earliest memories, and some of you may remember this if you're. I think there's a couple people from Colorado here in the state.
Yeah.
And he grew up here,
Golden,
and there
Colorado.
was this guy. There was a show on Channel 2 called Blinky's Fun Club, and Blinky was a hallmark of the Denver area. He had to be one of the creepiest clowns you've ever seen in your entire life.
Nice guy, I hear.
Oh yeah, but
in terms of if they were going to make a clown to scare
creep-
children, I mean, some people are just scared of clowns.
clowns
anyway.
creep me out. I
But
have
he
to
was
say.
a particularly scary-looking clown.
He was scary,
I remember that
yeah.
as a kid,
And I remember my parents took me to see Blinky because they thought,
love
what a
you.
treat, what a treat. We love Charlie, we love Blinky. He watches Blinky
They'll get along.
the whole time. I don't know why I watched Blinky. I think
they
it
had
was
cartoons, I
only
think.
one show that was on
Yeah,
TV,
that's true. There was only
right?
a
We
show.
had two channels, and one channel was Blinky, and the other one was As the Sun Runs Through, or the Sand Goes Through the Hourglass, So Do the Days of Our Lives.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. So Blinky won out. When I saw Blinky, I said at the top of my lungs, Blinky, back off or you're going to get knocked.
Wow.
I threatened Blinky with violence. And
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
yeah, so that's my past, and I hope that you don't judge me. It's
Did they kick you out of the little studio there, or?
my parents forcibly removed me.
Okay,
I
they
think they
decided.
had to pull me off of Blinky. I think I took his nose with me,
Wow.
but I was ready to go after Blinky.
Young Charles assaulting clowns.
Yeah,
Wow. That had to be embarrassing for them,
it had to be.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why your dad came up with such great wisdom. Jim Fay has come up with such great wisdom that's actually really helped me.
Right,
We
yeah.
hate to be too useful or practical with the podcast, but he said a couple things when I experienced my kids, and this was willful acting out in public, where people are looking over, and you wonder what they're thinking. And he said a couple things. He said, remember that you didn't go into that store to develop a close personal relationship with all those other people there in the store.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really helpful. And then he said, they're probably not really thinking about you. They're probably thinking about themselves, at least in the context of, I'm sure glad that's not my kid.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the case. But what do you do when your kids misbehave in public? I mean, do you think we should put some practical wisdom in here?
I guess we could do a little bit, as long as it's not too much. I remember hearing about In Love and Logic. I think it's in one of those books I read about, actually, this thing called a delayed consequence.
Delayed consequence, yeah.
Yeah, and that sometimes that's appropriate.
And you can say it through your teeth.
You can say
You can actually say it. You can say, I'm going to have to do something about this, right? But not now, later. Try not to worry. I sound like James Cagney when I do that, don't
a
I?
little bit, or maybe a little Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, but I'm going to have to do something about this, but not now, later. Deal with it later. Now, if you have a really little child, it's fine to stick them up in the stroller and just buckle them in and roll them over the wall.
If you can solve the problem there.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that if they're little.
Yeah, I remember being in, it was one of those feeding trough genre family restaurants. You know, the kind I'm talking about.
Especially like a Fur's cafeteria.
It was like that, but a family corral. I think it was a family corral where there's like a feeding trough, and they put the glass there to discourage people from just eating directly out of it, because you bump your head on that glass.
But you've got a big old plastic tray.
Oh,
and
man.
You put stuff on that.
Oh, yeah, and I love the pudding. The pudding stuff is absolute essential with the fried chicken and all that. And I remember my son, Mark, acting up in the family corral in Lexington, South Carolina. He's just going bonkers. He's 2 years old. I don't know what his problem was. He's standing on the table. He's crying. He's stomping food off. Oh, it was terrible. And this is a long time ago. He's an adult now. And I really didn't know what to do. And so I took him over to another booth, and I set him in the booth, and then I knew that the more frustrated and angry you get about something, the more likely it's going to happen. So I just kind of wedged him over against the wall in the booth. Now I wasn't hurting him. Okay.
You weren't like boxing him out.
Yeah, but he was just kind of stuck there, and I just had my fried chicken and baked beans and biscuits and stuff like that as I had a kid screaming behind me. But that kind of worked. It changed their location.
It changed his location.
Yeah, changed his location. He's not happy about the result of his behavior, which he shouldn't when they're acting up. And so there's a lot of ways to deal with it.
So maybe a kid's a little older, you say, we're going to do something about this later, we'll talk about it later.
Right.
And then you come up with something that's a good, logical, cause and effect related consequence.
I wonder if an older kid could pay for the meal, since they made it miserable for everybody else.
That seems logical, right?
I don't know.
You ruin the meal, and maybe you get to pay for that out of your allowance or belongings, maybe.
That seems reasonable to me, but kids acting out in public, man. I love rating temper tantrums. I think rating a temper tantrum is one of the best strategies. And get 3x5 cards, 1 through 10 on those cards. And when the kid is down there, look at the kid and say, listen, it's got promise, technique is a little rough, and you pull one out and give them a rating. And work on that.
5. Like your last fit was better. You've been at grandma's, so you're out of practice a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
And
you could even ask other people to help you with the rating process.
This would be for the volitional, I'm trying to get my way kind of a tantrum. Yeah. You're not suggesting that with a kid who's genuinely upset. They've just had some major, real crisis or trauma, and they're genuinely upset. This is for
Of course not.
I didn't get my way, and now I'm going to try to throw a fit and use the optics, this dynamic that we're in public to my advantage. Because I know parents. I've watched parents literally grab a toy and hand it to the kid off the shelf of the store. You know, they had said no. Kid throws a fit, and they're so panicky about this fit that they're like, okay, but you better behave. And moment of silence for those people, because they've just now been set up for an awful lot of misery,
A lot of pain.
misery
Yeah.
on their part and the kid's part.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you do about the kid who's really suffering, or the husband who's suffering on the shopping trip? What are your thoughts on how to help?
Well,
I mean, it's not purposeful, mean behavior. It's just...
You just crash. You know, you pack some snacks. That's one thing.
Okay.
Sometimes when we don't behave well, because I've actually misbehaved in public a few times, and this is not to make excuses, but I think sometimes when we don't behave well, there's maybe a need that's not met. And so if I'm super tired, you know, I can get cranky, so I want to be well rested, or plan in advance to be able to get some rest. Hungry. That's when I get super cranky. And so, yeah, that's one thing you can do is pack some snacks for the, if it's going to be a long day, yeah, pack some snacks. I don't know.
I got an idea. Just watch videos on your phone.
Ooh, I've seen people do that one too.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the little portable babysitter.
Don't have a fit. Hey, I just saw a commercial for an electronic device, a very large company that we all know and love, and it was these kids who were acting up, and every time they acted up, the parents would come by and hand them this tablet so that they would quiet down, and it was such a heartwarming commercial at the end. You know, but it left me thinking, you know, it's
honest. That's what people really do.
Well, it only takes one bad apple to ruin the whole thing. You know, I'll put it that way. But okay. So, what are some other options for getting them to behave?
For getting the kids to behave, or you mentioned the...
Give them a job.
Oh,
okay, make them part of the process, for Pete's sake. You know, you go in there, and if you don't have anything to do, you're starting to get bored. No. Little kids, cut little pictures of the food out of the newspaper or something like that, or have them draw pictures, or print them off of the computer. You know, picture of a can of beans. You got a picture of this, got a picture of that. It needs to be 10 ounce. You can write 10 ounce. You can put all that sort of thing on there. Everybody has a list of things that they have to be looking for. It's a detective mission. It's like archaeology. We're digging for clues. How do we find this stuff? The future of the free world hangs on this. Right. You know, and that's the way I would address it with the kids. It's like,
this is a great idea. Give them a job.
So important.
And it can be very simple. My daughter, and she still does this. She's a teenager now, but she was little. Her job was to hold the coupons and then hand them to me when I said I need one, because she was real little. This is before she was reading or anything. But I'd say, the nice thing about the coupons there, they have pictures on them. So I would say, I need one with yogurt on it. And then she'd find it in the little stack there. And sometimes they weren't the right ones, or sometimes we didn't actually...
you have fun with that.
We had fun with that. And what she does now is she finds coupons for stuff that she wants to buy that probably would be like a frivolous purchase.
Slip them in there.
We don't really need that. We're only here for necessities. But she's like, oh... And she'll have a coupon, lo and behold, for something that she was craving. She still does that.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so
that's a job. Give them a job.
Give them a mission, because people need a purpose. I mean, we do.
Otherwise, they'll invent one like annoying you.
Yeah, exactly. And our purpose here at Love and Logic, hey, I want to share our mission. I mean,
it's not to annoy you.
It came to me this Thanksgiving weekend because I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the people we serve. I'm thankful for Jedd. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for just opportunity to reach out to people. And I thought, there's a lot of people who are hurting, you know, and that's one of the reasons why we do this really brainless stuff, because you know, I mean, we need a little relief, right? Okay, and but the mission that came to me, this, and don't get too excited. It's not that great, but it goes like this. It's to reach the hearts and minds, because we all need our hearts stirred sometimes by something, and sometimes we need our minds renewed a little bit about a technique or something to reach the hearts and minds of the hurting. I know there's a lot of people are hurting, you know.
And you say hearts and minds, it's like love and logic.
Right, the hearts and minds of the hurting, and there's a lot of people that are hurting, and there's a lot of people that look like they're not hurting, and they're hurting. In fact, I think the norm is most people right now have a big hurt, and then there's a couple people here and there who are in a very momentary, fleeting period of joy and and lack of chaos. But that won't last long, so don't worry. Okay, but I'm not done. It's to reach the hearts and minds of the hurting with an enthusiastic message of hope, message of hope, and you know, love and logic works. You know, it really does. And sometimes I've been around it my whole life. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, it doesn't really work, or this or that.
Works on all kids but mine.
Oh my goodness, yeah, it doesn't guarantee success all the time. Sometimes it's not always easy, but you know, I can say that it works, and I have a challenging child at home, and I was frustrated the other day. Couldn't find a tool, you know, and I like to do a lot of stuff myself, and I couldn't find a tool to take the blade off of my angle grinder. Don't you hate it when that happens?
Oh yeah, your angle grinder. You gotta be able to get that blade
yeah, you gotta get that blade off. And I couldn't find the tool. I'm looking all over the garage, and I'm just kind of, oh man, I'm so frustrated. And pretty soon, I hear the grinder going, you know, because my son has an angle grinder too. We're angle grinder guys. Yeah, he's got his eye protection to make sure everybody's, you know, gloves and everything. And then he's got the welding. He's got a little welder, and he's welding over there, and he's just running all around. He's got the drill press going. He's like Energizer Bunny. And then he comes out and he says, "Hey, will this work?" He made me the tool for my grinder.
Wow.
I'm so proud of him, and it made me feel so good. And you know, that's what Love and Logic is all about. It's about like creating kids who just, you know, they're resourceful and they want to help.
Yeah.
And he can be, you know, a real challenge. You know that. I mean, we all can, right?
We all can.
But it made me feel good, and it gave me hope. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There is hope. Well, I remember my grandfather used to say to me, if you can make just one person laugh and smile, then you've done probably better than Charles. I remember he said that to me. He was I don't know why he would say something like that. That's mean.
Yeah, that is pretty hurtful. it's really
we're getting too serious.
It's really macroaggression.
It was a macroaggression for
and
sure.
I'm offended.
Well, you know what? There is hope.
There is.
We want to spread hope to people and make them smile. And as daunting as this whole raising kids thing can be, it can be some pretty fun and cool and rewarding moments.
And I want to.
I haven't had any of those personally, like you just shared, but I believe they're coming. There's hope.
I want to shout out to Andy in Minnesota. Andy, hey, sent me a Spam shirt for Thanksgiving.
Oh man, that came from Andy.
It came from Andy. Andy, you know who you are. Some people know who Andy is.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he is. He's really cool. But I mean, I was so happy when I got this shirt.
It's pretty awesome. I would have thought it was one of our fans in Hawaii because I know they
love it. And I tried to like it. See, I grew up on Spam, you know, and my mother had a lot of different ways of disguising Spam. One of her most cruel acts was to disguise it so it actually looked like a ham, complete with little cloves stuck in the top.
Oh, wow.
And it looked kind of attractive, and then I ate it.
And it was still Spam.
Well, the problem was that, you know, we lived on a well, too, you know, so there was limited water after eating that Spam. You know, I kind of drained the well trying to quench the... It's a little bit of salt in it.
It's a little salty.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
But it won the war, right? Didn't it win the war?
It totally won the war, yeah. I think that some of the troops were throwing it at the enemy.
Is that how we did it?
Yeah. And so.
We're trying to get sponsored. I think that's one of our missions. We've endeared ourselves to many
And
advertisers.
and if and I got a great idea. I know it's crazy, but I'm gonna throw it out there. Hey, Mike, Minnesota guy.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, another Minnesota guy.
Giza sheet material. Make the Spam T-shirt with Giza sheet material, and then I'll be like living in luxury as I'm making this bold statement about something as patriotic as Spam. Just a thought.
Yeah, we're not above pandering. We're not
No,
above that.
I'm begging you, Mike. I mean, if you're hearing this, dude, and it's blue, like your shirt.
I'm feeling a little embarrassed now due to someone's behavior in public. I'm starting to feel a little embarrassed. No, I don't want to completely. I don't want to leave our parents out there. And this you don't necessarily have to be a parent for this to apply to you. But I think number one, there's solidarity, and this is be one of the things I would suggest. If you see,
Is that a game?
uh,
Board games?
it should
Solidarity?
be. It should
Okay.
be. If you see a mom or a dad out there and their kids acting out in public, and you just see them getting that kind of panicky, overwhelmed, oh no, kind of a face, give them a look of solidarity.
And a can of Spam.
Give them a little encouraging look, and yeah, if you have some Spam on you, which I always do, you give them that and just support them and
Yeah,
realize, hey,
no
we're
doubt.
not alone. We're in this together.
And if you're on a plane and the kid is driving you nuts,
Take them back to that restroom.
yeah, get over yourself and and love on them. You'll feel better about life if you do.
I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thankful for you, man. And
Thank you.
I really do
And
like your shirt.
Thank you so much. I like it too. But if it was made out of Giza sheet material, I'd like it better, Mike.
Everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a great holiday season,
Yes.
whenever you're watching or listening to this, and thanks for supporting Love and Logic. And please, if you haven't done so already, check out loveandlogic.com for lots of books and audios and videos and things that'll change your life. Real solutions for things
That actually have useful content, unlike this.
which we've vowed to not allow into the podcast.
Yeah, this is a no usefulness.
Zone?
Zone,
No
yeah.
useful content zone. We've declared
Exactly.
it. Okay.
Exactly.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Take care. There's hope.